comes a moment, quiet, brutal, and impossible to ignore, when your entire reality cracks. You look around, at your phone silent, at your circle absent, at your dreams unsupported. And then it hits you like cold steel. No one is coming, no rescue, no investor, no mentor, no push when you're exhausted, no hand when you fall, just you. For most people, this realization is devastating. It feels like abandonment, like the world turned its back, like you were selected for suffering while everyone else got support. They collapse here. They ask, why me? They wait. They hope. They beg for someone, anyone to show up. But there's a rare type of person, the outlier, the builder, the one who doesn't break in that moment. They transform. For them, this isn't the end. It's initiation. You're still reading this because something inside you recognizes that moment. You felt it. That pressure in your chest when your ambition outgrows your environment. That exhaustion from explaining your vision to people who refuse to understand it. That frustration of waiting for permission, for help, for someone to believe. Enough. The idea that you need support to succeed is one of the most dangerous illusions ever sold to you. And today, we're going to dismantle it completely. The lie you were raised on. From childhood, dependency was programmed into you. School rewarded teamwork over individual brilliance. Culture glorified connections over competence. You were taught, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That phrase, it sounds practical, but hidden inside it is a quiet surrender. Because the moment you believe your success depends on others, you've already handed over control. Think about it. When you rely on someone else, they can delay you, they can abandon you, they can reshape your vision, they can own a piece of your outcome. Support isn't free, it's leverage. And leverage in the wrong hands becomes control. The 0 point. There's a stage very few people accept. The moment where your contacts mean nothing, your resources are minimal, your backing is non-existent, just you. That's the 0 point. Most panic here. You won't. Because hidden inside this emptiness is something most people never experience. Total freedom. No expectations. No interference. No obligation. No compromise. If no one lifted you up, no one can pull you down. If you build alone, you own everything. Loneliness isn't weakness, it's leverage. You were taught to seek approval, to be liked, to be supported. But chasing approval creates dependency, and dependency creates weakness. Have you noticed something? The more desperate someone is for help, the less they receive it. Because desperation signals fragility. Instead, you must operate differently. You don't seek validation, you build competence. Respect doesn't come from asking, it comes from becoming undeniable. The shift from neediness to defiance. Stop waiting for encouragement. Start running on defiance. Look at the people who ignored you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who left. And instead of feeling hurt, feel clarity. They didn't believe? Good. That means the space is uncontested. They didn't help? Perfect. That means the outcome is entirely yours. This is where your field changes. From emotional dependency to calculated drive. The lone general. Imagine a battlefield. A commander stands in the dust, the noise of war still echoing in the distance. He turns around, expecting to see ranks behind him. But there is nothing. No soldiers, no banners, no footsteps rushing to follow orders, just emptiness. Silence where loyalty was supposed to be. He's been abandoned, left alone in the middle of chaos. Now, in that single moment, everything changes. He has two choices. He can drop to his knees, let the weight crush him, and accept defeat before the battle even begins. Or he can adapt. No hesitation, no delay. Because the second option is where real power is born. Not the kind of power that depends on numbers, or approval, or backup, but the kind that is forged in isolation, Because here's the truth most people never understand. A single individual moving quietly, thinking clearly, acting strategically, is far more dangerous than a large group that is slow, distracted, and disorganized. An army needs coordination. It needs agreement. It needs time. You don't. When you're alone, you move faster than anyone expects. You make decisions without waiting for consensus. You change direction instantly when something isn't working. You don't get stuck in debates, delays, or politics. There is no friction, no resistance from others, no need to explain yourself. Your isolation sharpens you. It forces clarity. It forces efficiency. It forces precision in a way that comfort never could. Every move matters. Every decision counts. And that pressure, that intensity, it turns you into something most people will never become. Now step deeper into this transformation. Enter what can only be described as the ghost phase. This is where everything shifts. If you have no support, you have no audience. And if no one is watching, then there is no performance required. No need to impress. No need to explain. No need to seek validation. So stop announcing your plans. Stop telling people what you're about to do. Stop broadcasting your intentions like they are achievements. Because every time you speak your vision out loud, something subtle happens. You lose a piece of it. You leak energy. You expose your idea to doubt, both yours and theirs. You open the door for opinions that dilute your focus. And worst of all, you trick your brain into feeling rewarded before you've actually done anything. That small hit of satisfaction from talking about your goals, it's dangerous, because it replaces action with illusion, and illusion kills progress. The ghost doesn't speak, the ghost works. Silently, relentlessly, unseen. You don't explain your next move, you execute it. You don't seek reassurance, you create results. You don't look for applause, you build something that makes applause irrelevant. Because silence, real silence, does something powerful. It creates pressure, internal pressure, the kind that builds when there's no outlet. No talking, no venting, no sharing, just thoughts, ideas, ambition, trapped inside. That pressure starts to grow. It becomes tension, then urgency, then obsession, and eventually, it demands action. So keep it inside. Let the ideas stack. Let the ambition expand. Let the frustration build without release. Let it burn in your chest like something that refuses to be ignored. Because that fire, that restlessness, that almost uncomfortable drive, that's not something to escape. That's something to use. That is fuel. That is momentum waiting to be unleashed. When you enter this phase fully, something changes about you. You stop caring about being seen. You stop needing recognition. You stop explaining your path to people who were never meant to walk it. You become focused in a way that feels almost unnatural, almost surgical. Your actions become deliberate. Your time becomes protected. Your energy becomes guarded, because now you understand something most people never will. Talking is easy. Planning is comfortable. But execution requires silence, pressure, and isolation. So disappear for a while. Not forever, just long enough to build something real. Work when no one is watching. Improve when no one is clapping. Create when no one is expecting anything from you. And then, one day, you won't have to say a word, because the results will speak in a language no one can ignore. Obsession is required. Without support, discipline alone won't carry you. You need obsession. You must reach a point where your craft consumes you, your progress defines you, your focus isolates you. This isn't unhealthy. This is necessary. Because when you become exceptional, support becomes irrelevant. And ironically, that's when it appears, the hidden cost no one talks about. Walking this path isn't glamorous. It hurts. You will grieve. You'll grieve the support you thought you'd have, the people you thought would stay, the life you imagined. There will be nights where you question everything, where you wonder if you're wrong, where the silence feels suffocating. That's part of it. You're not broken. You're transitioning. The split within you. To survive this, you must become two people. The emotional version of you, the commanding version of you. The first feels doubt, fear, fatigue. The second ignores it. The second leads. The second decides. And over time, the leader replaces the follower. Pain as fuel. Most people run from discomfort the moment it shows up. The second things get heavy, they escape. They reach for distractions. They scroll endlessly. They drown themselves in noise. Anything to avoid sitting with that feeling. Because discomfort is unfamiliar. And what's unfamiliar feels dangerous. So they numb it. They bury it under entertainment, under habits, under temporary relief that slowly turns into long-term weakness. They convince themselves they're coping, but in reality, they're avoiding growth, avoiding confrontation with themselves, avoiding the very thing that could change their life. You won't do that. You can't afford to. Because where most people see something to escape, you will see something to use. You won't suppress discomfort. You'll convert it. You'll take every negative emotion and turn it into usable energy. Not randomly, not emotionally, but intentionally, precisely. Rejection, that's not a signal to stop. That's momentum. It sharpens your edge. It forces you to improve, to refine, to come back stronger and more prepared. Rejection becomes productivity. You work harder, not because you're hurt, but because now you're focused. Loneliness? Most people crumble under it. They rush to fill the silence with people, noise, anything to feel connected again. But you'll do the opposite. You'll step into it. You'll use that isolation as a tool. Because in that silence there are no interruptions, no expectations, no distractions pulling you away from what matters. Loneliness becomes focus. Deep, uninterrupted, almost obsessive focus. Anger, people are taught to suppress it, to calm down, to let it go. But suppressed anger doesn't disappear, it weakens you. You won't waste it like that. You'll direct it, channel it, aim it. Because anger, when controlled, is one of the most powerful fuels you have. It gives you energy when you're tired. It pushes you when you want to stop. It forces movement. Anger becomes output, even doubt, even fear, even that quiet voice that questions whether you're good enough. You don't silence it. You outwork it. You turn it into action so consistent that eventually that voice has nothing left to say. Understand this clearly. Pain is not your enemy. It was never designed to destroy you. It was designed to wake you up, to push you, to force adaptation. But most people misunderstand. They treat it like something to eliminate, something to avoid at all costs. And in doing so, they eliminate their greatest advantage. Because pain, when used correctly, becomes power. Raw, unfiltered, high-intensity energy. The kind that doesn't rely on motivation. The kind that doesn't fade when things get difficult. The kind that stays when everything else leaves. So the next time you feel it, that heaviness, that frustration, that tension building inside you, don't run, don't numb it, don't distract yourself from it. Pause, recognize it, then redirect it into work, into progress, into something that moves you forward. Because once you learn how to do that, once you stop fearing pain and start using it, you unlock something most people never will. A constant, reliable source of energy. One that doesn't depend on circumstances. One that doesn't disappear when life gets hard. Pain is not your weakness. It's your fuel. And if you learn how to burn it properly, it will take you further than comfort ever could. Structure over freedom. When no one is watching, most people collapse. You won't. You'll impose structure on yourself. non-negotiable rules. Wake up without debate. Work in deep, uninterrupted blocks. Control what you consume. Evaluate yourself daily. No excuses. No emotional bargaining, just execution. Stop chasing people, build value. Networking without value is begging. Instead, build skills, build results, build proof. When you become valuable, people come to you, not because you asked, but because you're necessary. The return of the doubters. Eventually something shifts. Your work starts showing results. Your life changes. And suddenly, they return. The same people who ignored you, questioned you, doubted you. Now they say, I always believed in you. No, they didn't. And you won't forget that. But you won't react emotionally either. You'll respond with calm distance. Because you've evolved past needing their validation. True power, self-reliance. At the end of this path, something shifts in a way that's hard to explain, but impossible to ignore. It doesn't happen all at once. It builds quietly, through every difficult decision you made alone, through every moment you kept going without support, through every time you chose discipline over comfort. And then one day, it clicks. You see it clearly. You feel it deeply. You realize something that most people spend their entire lives chasing without ever fully understanding. You are the asset, not your network, not your connections, not your circumstances, not your background, not your luck. You, your mind, your discipline, your ability to adapt, to learn, to rebuild. That's where the real value was the entire time. Because think about it. If everything disappeared tomorrow, if the money vanished, if the opportunities dried up, if the people left, what would remain? You would. And now, you're no longer afraid of that. Because you know something others don't. You can build it again. From nothing. From zero. Because you've already done it once, or at least proven to yourself that you can survive without guarantee. That realization changes how you move through life. You stop clinging to people out of fear. You stop chasing opportunities out of desperation. You stop relying on external validation to feel secure. Because your security is internal now, built, not borrowed. And from that place, something rare begins to form. Not excitement, not hype, not temporary confidence, but something much deeper. Peace. A quiet, grounded kind of peace. The kind that doesn't need noise to feel real. The kind that stays even when things are uncertain. It's the peace of knowing you don't need permission. You don't need saving. You don't need ideal conditions. Because whatever happens, you will figure it out. It's the peace of self-reliance. Of no longer depending on fragile external structures. Of no longer fearing loss the same way, because you've detached your identity from things that can disappear. And maybe the most powerful part is this: you stop rushing, you stop panicking, you stop comparing your timeline to others, because you understand that your foundation is different, stronger, built under pressure. This peace doesn't make you passive, it makes you dangerous, in the best way. Because now you operate without desperation, without fear-driven decisions, without the constant need for approval. You still work, you still build, you still aim higher. But now, it comes from control, not chaos, from clarity, not confusion. And that's the final transformation. Not just success on the outside, but stability on the inside. A calm certainty that no matter what happens next, you are enough to handle it. And once you truly understand that, there's nothing left to chase, only things left to build. The final transformation. Once you've built everything alone, you reach a new level. You no longer need support. So now, you can choose to give it, not from weakness, but from strength. You help selectively, strategically, because you understand the journey. The final question. Most people will read this, feel inspired, then go back to seeking comfort. But a few won't. A few will sit in silence, thinking, planning, realizing something uncomfortable but powerful. That empty space around them isn't loneliness. It's an opportunity. So now the question is simple. When no one shows up for you, who do you become?